Have you ever been in a power situation? One where there's a little bit of a subservient struggle, a turbulence. Maybe your expectations were dashed, a little unpredictable outcome. You gotta learn to weather the storm and pull through it. You never know when it's gonna come. So I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick, folks.
We're old friends dissecting one topic at a time. People, technology, media, we've got it all covered.
Each discussion here is a deep dive into our unique perspective. The taboo, forbidden subjects, they're all on the chopping block, baby. We don't pander to popular opinion. We might even get a little bit dirty.
Warning, this podcast may contain mature language and sexual content, and is for infotainment purposes only.
So join us. Have a good time.
Open up your ear holes, because we're going to fondle your follicles. Alrighty.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm Dan.
I'm Nick, folks. Welcome to the podcast. We're talking about weathering. We're talking about storms. What are we talking about today?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because there are floods in Houston. But that...
oh, yeah. Storm again. Every time we do an episode,
Storm
it's
again.
like, good Lord.
It's
the beginnings.
Yeah, that's not what we're covering, though. So, Let me see. Let me go back to the beginning. No, it's a long story. So, I guess 10 months ago, I switched jobs. And the way I switched jobs is that I got an offer. I mentioned it to my manager. I said, do you think you can do anything? They said, let me look. They said, no, we can't. I was like, okay, I'm going to take this offer that's better. And I did. I took about a month, and then I switched jobs. Everything was kosher, hunky-dory, and then I started a new job.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
They call them job hoppers. People are going to start looking out for job hoppers.
Yeah. After being at that one job for almost a decade, I job hopped.
That's
So,
all right.
That brings me to about a month ago. Recruiter found me, gave me a call, set me up with somebody who had a job. I interviewed, took tests, interviewed again. I got through their levels. They gave me an offer that was a match from what I was making now. And then I negotiated, and then it was like 20% higher than what I was making now. So I got that offer on Tuesday night. Yesterday, Tuesday night was 2 days ago. Yesterday, I brought it up to my employer. I said, I'm considering an offer. I'm not sure what you can do. If you can do anything, let me know. And then they had a discussion about whether I was unhappy, which I wasn't. I've done maybe like four projects for them in like 10 months. So I had no feedback whatsoever, but I think I did a good job on them. Other people thought I did. So things were positive.
Sounds good.
He kept kind of like wondering why I was leaving, and I was like, because of the money. There's more money.
Yeah, like, well, there's just one reason.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. And he kept insisting, like, you could just like work overtime to get that. Like, 20% overtime?
You're not getting it, dude.
No, I don't think so. So, came in today, had a meeting with him, and I was fired.
Were you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They didn't let you finish the 2 weeks or whatever?
No, I didn't even get to submit my 2 weeks.
Is it because they don't want someone around who's already accepted another job?
I think so. But the problem was that I didn't accept the other job. I hadn't accepted the other job yet. I was considering taking the other offer, and I also hadn't given my 2 weeks. So they fired me for considering another offer and then telling me that I was considering.
Did you call them back and say, please, I hope you still have that job? Yes, I'm good.
Yes,
Let's
I'm
go.
Good. At the end of the day,
because that would be awful.
Yeah. I lost everything. But it just brings up the one point that, like, I was in a business that was fairly serious. I did my work. I was respected, and it was going well. Nothing was wrong. And then you run into somebody that just has like a weird spin on how business should be done, and they don't either want you. So these are the reasons that I came up with on why they would want to boot me out. they thought I wasn't going to be professional, and they thought I would not
Like,
complete work or something, which for
in
someone
the
in their
2 week
30s,
period.
yeah, it doesn't
But
matter.
anyway,
Yeah, they would still make money off of the job, off the hours that I was working, and I would have
true.
worked them. Two, you don't want somebody around that's like gonna bring other people down or
Hmm.
like rub it in their face.
They call it poison the well.
Yeah. So, but
Or not even that. Like, what if you were like, hey guys, you could probably make more money doing something else.
yeah, but that's
Like, you know what I mean?
in this day and age that doesn't make sense because I could just go on social media and then tell them anyway.
Tell them anyway. It's not like you had to
Yeah.
physically be in the room with them.
Yeah.
Damn, I was gonna tell so and so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
In
ridiculous.
fact, you would probably more than likely text them or something as opposed to tell them in the office.
Yes, because it's
But
public
anyway.
if you're telling them.
Right.
So
Yes.
it's bizarre. And then the third thing, I guess, if you were like malicious, if you're going to do something against them, but that's not kind of.
Yes. Right.
Like, no, that's not me, and they should have known that. So it was one of those weird things that I sat down, had that conversation. It's like pretty much like, it's unlikely that you're going to match. Understand that it's not what I'm looking for, and then like all the good things, blah 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 blah, and then he came back with like, well, today's your last day, and then I was like, okay, and I was like, right now.
Was he mean about it? Like, that's kind of
No,
wild.
he was just straightforward with it. So we're the 19th of the month. What I was trying to do was get to the 1st of the next month so I can get insurance. I have a family. Insurance is expensive.
Yes, it is.
I was like, well, can I just like write out the next 2 weeks so that I can get insurance for the next month? And he goes, no, Cobra will take care of that. Cobra is the extension for insurance that you would pay personally for. Whatever plan they have, you pay the entire amount and you get it for another month. So he said no, and I was like, So he gave me 2 hours to pack up and leave. So it was very weird. And
What'd you do in the 2 hours?
It was raining really hard. So I talked to people. I said bye to everybody. Made them aware that I was leaving abruptly without.
Did people give you weird looks and stuff? Like, were they like, you're leaving?
They thought I was joking. So many people were like, Dan, like.
Classic Dan.
Like,
this guy.
I was like, no, this isn't my choice to leave right now. And so it was like semi-awkward, but you could tell there's a divide between the people who are there just to like, they're pawns. They just work. There's other people that are thinking about it and are my friends, and they're like, what the fuck? And then I guess the other group of people just don't care. Like, they have their own agenda, and like maybe they're doing their own thing. So it was very strange. And I slowly packed up my stuff, and then I went out with a group to lunch, and it was still raining, so I took my time. I took like,
that's cool.
4
You did
hours.
lunch.
Yeah, 4 hours to pack up slowly.
Did you buy lunch? Did anyone buy lunch?
No one bought lunch for me. I paid for myself.
Okay.
It's kind of strange too, but maybe they knew how much I was making at the next job. They're like, fuck this guy.
Maybe they're like, he's gonna buy us lunch. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. That's how they all went. So what do you think about that? It's weird. It's a weird feeling because
Oh, it's very weird.
My old job was just like.
I thought about walking out of my job today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I considered it. Because I have a fallback. We all know that. Like, so if I'm like,
people don't like people like us.
No, I guess not. The other thing to think of is in my line of work, it's sales. We do mostly phone sales now. Mm-hmm. When people say that they're quitting or they're done, they don't give them 2 weeks here.
They just let them. Do they escort them out?
I think they give you the day to pack up your stuff and leave. But I've only seen one person leave, and his name was Nick, and he was a month ahead of me in exactly what I'm doing, my train. And this was about 3 weeks ago, so in 1 week I'd be on the Nick path. He literally got up at like 11:30, and he was like, "Fuck it, guys. Sorry, I'm out." And he got up and walked out, and everyone was like, "Oh, where's he going?" And he never came back in the building. So like, we're still picking up the pieces from the other Nick, but today I was like, man, this is stupid. This is so fucking dumb. And someone was like, hey, you didn't get enough line cards out. You got to get up your dials. You notice you didn't follow up on a couple quotes? And I was like this, man, this is fucking dumb. And I was like, you say one more thing and I'll quit. But I said it in my head, like where he couldn't hear. Yeah. And he was like, but you're doing good. And I was like, damn it. I was like, you should have said one more negative thing. And I was going to be like, piece, dude. Fuck those. So it's weird. Different jobs, and it seems like your job should have given you the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now I don't know because it's projects. Maybe it's some of the information they think you'll steal or give to someone else, or
I was in a lull, so I guess it was easy to let me go because I wasn't actively working a project.
okay, that makes I guess sense. Because then, what's the point of starting you on any projects?
Yeah, well, I could have done some small tasks. They definitely had a lot of work for the software people to do, and I was in the software
Okay,
group, so I could have done something. And when
I
I
could have
told
done
people,
some.
my managers, that I was leaving that day, that they were like, they went straight down to the office to be like, what the hell's going on here? Because they wanted to actually give me more work. So it's kind of one of those things where you start to like look at other people's perspective the moment it
Yeah, I
happens,
was
because
just
it's
gonna
one of those
say,
points.
like, were you seeing your ripples going on there? Like,
Yeah. Because my friends, when I said, like, I'm leaving and it's not my choice to leave today, they immediately were like, they didn't give you 2 weeks? Like, why wouldn't they? And then it's
yeah,
like, what does that do for the people that.
me, yeah.
Yeah.
What does that do for me? I'm just a piece of meat. Like, if something's up with me, or are they just gonna be like, cut you off, boom, slice and
Yeah.
dice?
I don't think I mean, I'm very professional in the way that I talk about things, so, like, there should have been no reason to let me go immediately. So, like, if I had my own business, I would never let someone go immediately unless they're malicious in some way.
How would you run a business?
That's such an abstract question that I don't even know how to answer it. Like, you need to give me
I
some.
know, but like it's so weird because the more and more we talk on these podcasts about business, the
Hmm.
more I realize it's super cutthroat. It's cut and dry. And especially the more I do sales, the more I'm like, it's literally just about numbers game. Like they want you to do X, Y, and Z to get
Yeah.
numbers, and they're like, yeah, it's stupid, but you'll get 4% more sales. And I'm like, who cares? I'm doing X, Y, and Z. It doesn't make any sense. And they're like, well, you'll get 4% more sales, and it's like, but it's so dumb. And they're like, you'll get 4% more sales. And I'm like, but all the extra work and everything for
It's not
what?
worth it.
Nothing?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's 4% extra sales. And I'm like, oh, you guys are literally about a number.
Yeah.
And it's weird because that's what a business is. It's literally about, it's a numbers game. And it's so weird that math it doesn't mesh with humanity. It doesn't mesh with your office space. It doesn't mesh with give you 2 weeks. It doesn't mesh with, well, it's common sense to let him ride out the
Yeah.
month and then give him insurance for
I
next month. Like,
respect him. Like, that doesn't come into the. Doesn't
yeah,
what
that
kind of
doesn't,
what number does respect get?
it,
None.
it doesn't, it has a zero, which is so weird. And the more I think about how businesses treat us as people, that it's totally, we should treat businesses like pieces of shit.
Yeah. And if we could
We
shit
should
all over them, we
hop,
should.
job hop. Yeah,
Yeah.
if we can job hop, do it. Don't feel bad for the business. You can feel bad for the people there
Hmm.
and have connections to them. But if you can make more money or use the businesses, F them,
Yeah.
right?
I think so. Because the business is an entity and it doesn't have any feelings.
And it will cut you in half or
Yeah.
fire you for the hell of it.
So in response to, like, how would I run a business? Like, I would actually genuinely try to care about people. I think there's certain things that, like, there's metrics to be within bounds, and as long as
Sure.
you're, like, moving towards a positive goal for the company, fuck all. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, if you've got a lot of negative marks, as long as you're on the whole positive. Like,
Sure.
I don't know why, like, why you would take me and say that I'm not going to be productive over the next 2 weeks. It's like, so does that mean I'm unprofessional? Like, I didn't get any good response out
Right.
of them anyway. So it's like, I don't know. So I have like a week of nothingness, and it's gonna
Wait,
feel
yeah.
pretty good.
What are you doing? You have nothing to do for like a week and a half or something?
I'm unemployed for the first time in like 11 years
What's
for a
that? How
week.
long? How long? How many days?
It's up until
10?
Tuesday of the week after next. So that's
Ooh,
like, it's
baby.
like
My
what,
man's
five
gonna get
plus
fat. He's gonna catch up on Netflix. What are
10,
you gonna
11
do? I
days
don't
of
even
freedom. This is
what are
so,
you gonna do?
it's gonna feel weird. I think I'm gonna be like summer vacation after a few days and be like, I'm free, I'm clear. I kind of
You're
wanted to
gonna
get
want to
laid
do
off.
you're gonna want to do a podcast every night. Ugh, this is disgusting.
Yeah,
You're gonna get back into gaming? Good lord.
but like, it doesn't. I don't know. As a business, like, that's not a good plan. Like, it's not good to plan to let someone go immediately for thinking about a job offer, and for telling. Because, like, don't you want your
You're being
employees to?
upfront.
Yeah,
You're being honest.
yeah. Don't you want your employees to come to you and say, like, I have a job offer, I'm considering it. like negotiate with me, do whatever you can.
And it's so weird we talk about this stuff and that I spent so many years working at my parents' company
Yeah,
where it's 4 people and like you
you
can
never get that.
no,
Your
it's
dad would
it's
be
the
like, "I'm
exact
sorry, we have to let you go."
the metrics came back.
He's holding
Your
you over a
numbers
cliff, and you were all of a sudden an infant baby. He just tosses you.
if the child did we do this
Defiantes.
before the child is misshapen or not strong, we cast them into the pit.
Yeah.
But what's wild is it's just the opposite. Like I talked to someone about this the other day because I was in a bakery near me that does like banging Italian food. They do like hot sandwiches, like
Mm.
pulled porks. They do eggplant. They do broccoli bravo and everything. Like it's a super good bakery that does made to order stuff. And we go to it, and I was in there, and it's like got all the Italian food where you can't. It's the labels aren't even in English, and it's like cool. They got a lot of those in the Philadelphia area. Um, there's a wall they have where all their good customers that died, they put up their obituaries.
Hmm.
Or like if one of their biggest customers was like the Budco plant or something, they have up the news clip that says Budco plant closing. Like, and it's a news clip and it's laminated and it's on a piece of glass. And it's so weird when I saw that. I said, this is the only other place besides my old work or my family business where I've seen that.
Yeah, because all the other
And
environments are sterile.
it's so weird. And I still know all the newspaper clippings of like customers that died from my old work, and it's the polar opposite of what we're talking about right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know one of the bar owners who got shot and tied up in his house and they robbed him, and like we have that newspaper clip and it's been hanging there for like 20 years. This is 20 years ago. It's still there. When the bosses died, we put up their obituaries, like the old bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the one place closed down, like we have up a newspaper clipping, or like one of our customers was just a neighbor who would come in like every 3 days or something like that just to get like a gallon of bleach or who knows. Like we didn't see her for a month, and we didn't see her for like a week, I guess, and someone came in and told us she died, and I was like, holy shit! Like it really hurt me
Yeah.
that she died. Like I didn't know her beyond her name and what she would buy and the jokes she would tell and everything. But we needed that obituary piece, and we got a little prayer card and we put it on the glass thing. And I don't know, it was like a family in a weird way,
Yeah,
which
there's
is
an
the
honor to it.
opposite of a business. Yeah, and it's just weird. I don't know how to handle business versus family versus what should be personal versus what should be professional. I really don't know. I don't know where the line should be.
So there's like the two perspectives I wanted to cover was like my other employees, the other people I worked with, my coworkers. They like what should they do now? Like after seeing me let go immediately, hey, they should just take the offer and not bring it up, and then not give them 2 weeks and just disappear. Like take a Friday and be like, I'm leaving, goodbye. Like you would have cut me loose anyway. Like so my position is like a software engineer. Usually uh it's like it's I guess highbrow work. It's like white collar. So like usually you get, I would assume, more respect because it's not as grunt worky.
Yeah,
It's not like an Amazon warehouse worker,
it's a complicated series of things. You have to deal with multiple layers and multiple softwares and multiple things and
Yeah.
interact with a lot of things. You got a lot of passwords. There's a lot going on. It's not just like I walk in, I move boxes, and I'm out, right?
Yeah. So you would think that you would have, at least some respect for the
Cachet,
amount for the work that
cachet, even.
cachet for the amount of work that that person does or what work they've done. You'd think that
Hmm.
they would have like an exit interview asking you about like if I had to
Hey,
do
what do you
this.
think? Can you give
Yeah.
us some input? Hey, what do you think we could do to better ourselves? Like something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that didn't happen. So it makes me wonder like um this business was only like maybe 30 people and there are three main owners and I talked to one of them mainly, and this was the outcome, and he kind of sprung it on me in a way that is just kind of duplicitous, and I just don't know. Like, I guess I kind of felt he was like two faced a little bit, but not so much that I thought he would just be like, okay, today's your last day. Like, get out. It's very
That is
strange.
weird. Is it a little bit like a breakup? And there's different ways to
I think
handle a
he's
breakup?
felt slighted. So this is the interesting part is that the amount of money I got, I don't think he could have matched. And there was a point where he asked me, like, if we did match exactly, would you say yes? So he's saying, if we made a fake counteroffer to you, would you take it? Like, this imaginary counteroffer, would you take it?
What did you say to that, by the way?
I was like, there's so much to consider that I don't even know, like, I couldn't answer you right now. Because it's not in front of me. Like, it's not a real scenario.
Did you say that? Real scenario.
I didn't say it's a real, like, this is a real scenario.
Okay. Yeah,
I should have,
though. You should have. That's why I was curious. Because then, does he say,
later on,
finish it out today and we'll talk? Okay.
Later on, I said, I don't know how I would handle that situation because I don't believe that you would match exactly. And, like, that was in the today's meeting, and I said that, and he responded with, yeah, well, we wouldn't match that anyway. So, like, he presented me with a fake scenario that he knew was false so that he could get a response out of me, which was kind of manipulating me to say more stuff. So it's like, you were just, you know, in the end, I should have probably just taken vacation and then showed up on the first of the month and been like, okay, I'm quitting.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, how many vacation days did you leave on the table?
I think I get those paid out, actually.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
At least you can kind of get them.
But I could have used them and gotten to the first of the month, and then they'd be confused. And then, but this is the thing, is you don't know from an employer if an employer is going to treat you like...
You also didn't know they were going to shoot you like that. But...
yeah. Take me out back and be like, today's your last day, Sonny.
Today's your last day, you son of a bitch. How do you decorate your office area? Do you have pictures of your family or anything?
I have one picture of my family, and I have 3 plants. And then I have a bunch of crap I don't care about.
What kind of plants?
I have bamboo, and then I have one of those back there behind me.
Spider plant? Is that a spider plant?
It's not,
rubber plant?
No,
rubber plant?
It's the other one next to it. I don't know what it is. That one's from my old work, and it's dead. I have 2 other ones that are very much alive.
Is it a vandiferous plant or whatever?
Van deference plant?
Yeah, I tried to make a sex joke. I tried to squeeze it in there. I'm glad you caught off on it. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were paying attention.
I wait till the podcast is over, and then I slowly nurture it back to health.
Nurture it. The milk of the puppy?
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. So it was raining really hard, and I couldn't really take those outside to put them in my car carefully. So I milked the crap out of staying for that last 4 hours or something.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes on at these like life changing moments where you're just like, yeah, like it's like it keeps coming up in my mind, like, what the fuck? Like, no, I'm not offended by it, but it's like it's just like something I mentally process and keep processing.
I put it to like when you get married. It's like this big event that's coming. It's like 9 months. It's like 15 months coming. They're planning so many details. You're so sick of hearing about it. You got a best man. You got this. You got to worry about your mother. Someone's talking about this. You don't know if the flowers are going to arrive. Someone's telling you something's going to be late. The day shows up. Someone starts feeding you a little bit of alcohol. All these people are kissing you, telling you you're beautiful. All those people over here. You're trying to have fun with your friends. You see someone you haven't seen in 8 years. You see someone you haven't seen in 20 years. You have someone you see every week who you wanted to have the best time of your life with. You're doing this, that. You're starting to drink more. There's all these people with microphones. You're supposed to pay attention to this. You have pictures over here. There's something going on over here. In that period, everything spins so fast when you get married, folks. Listen to me.
Yeah, the person who's never been married.
I've never been married. I'm literally just. That's the funny part.
You literally
of what I'm
have
saying.
like 2 seconds to talk to everybody, and then the rest of the time you're confused.
Exactly.
What you're doing.
You're spinning. You're trying to figure out if you didn't say goodbye to someone, if you should do the dance, if you're supposed to kiss someone, am I supposed to put cake in her face? I forget. I don't remember. There's pictures over here. There's pictures over here. Someone said this. You were supposed to pay the flower person. You're like, good fuck. And then when it's all over, you have to consummate the marriage. And I've never had sex, so I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, that's not the best.
But that's like all these life-changing events. Like you don't. they happen and they're so thick. They're so condensed. There's so many moments and things going on
Thick and
that
meaty, veiny.
It's meaty, dude. And then by the time it's over, you can think about this for the next.
You could keep peeling that
6
onion
weeks.
until you cry.
You can keep peeling that onion and crying, baby. You can cry after you get married too. I would cry.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's what I compare it to, because it's like you want to take in all these things real slow, but it's so many changing parts, so many new experiences, so many new feelings, so many new.
Yeah.
Like saying goodbye to everyone at your work is weird. Like you don't get a day for each person. It's like everyone at once. Hey, I got 2 hours. This is our entire life together. Goodbye. How did you react? How did I react? How did we?
I'll never see 90% of those people ever again.
That's wild.
It's weird.
It is weird.
That was the weathering the storm, because in the moment it happens, you're just taking it. Like you're sailing through it, and you're just like, I gotta get through it. I gotta get to some safe shore. And it's like, I guess some people I would like to melt down, but melting down isn't like in the books. So at some point I would like to, but it's not gonna happen. But I mean, it's rough. It's rough to take something like that and to wonder why they actually made that decision. Because like a group of people decided that would happen. Like,
did they?
There's all the owners apparently met.
Was there a pause between when you mentioned this and then when you were?
Yeah, because I mentioned it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And he took a night to talk to everybody, and then
gotcha.
He set up a planning meeting, and then let me go essentially. So I guess for you, when you quit your previous job, what was that like?
That was, they gave me the full 2 weeks,
and they let you ride it out.
Yeah, and I had a good time, dude. I was telling everyone, I laughed with everyone. I had my last moments with people. I had lunches with people. I told jokes. I was the #1 sales rep for the whole company that month. I went out on goddamn top. You goddamn right. And they actually sent me my commission checks, so give them credit.
Yeah, honest company.
No, not an honest company, but I guess they were afraid of getting sued. So it was different because it was like a swan song. I got to say goodbye. Everyone knew it was my last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, because they conned me in an extra 3 days because they were going to need me for the weekend. And I enjoyed that because I hugged certain coworkers. I told jokes with certain coworkers. I had lunch with a guy who I usually don't. I missed. I brought in food for everyone a couple days. Someone bought me lunch. I like that.
There's a
there was a closure.
To it, yeah.
And it was, and I spread it out long enough where I could take my time to say goodbye to some people. Like if something happens, like in your instance, hey, you got 2 hours. You can't say goodbye to everyone in 2 hours. You can't have lunches with everyone. Yeah. Your head is spinning. It's a wild, crazy thing. Even the 2 weeks wasn't long enough. I mean, there's still unfinished business I had with my coworkers. There's still stuff I missed, but 2 weeks was more than the 2 hours.
Which is exactly why, if I was owning a business and I had to fire somebody, well, not fire somebody, just like they had a better offer,
whatever it was.
Let them choose. Let them do what they want to do, and like they will go out graciously. The thing of it is
most
this company.
Most of the time, there are people who we did a fired episode where we talked about the wildest ways people quit. So there are instances, but no, you're right.
I forgot where I was going with that.
Oh, I apologize. I ruined it. Oh, taking your time and not kicking people out the door, like letting people say goodbye, collect their things, like.
Yeah, there's a grace in going out, and
see, I didn't want to tell someone else's story, but real quick, my roommate, girlfriend's sister, she worked at a Catholic university for 25 years. Catholic university. She went to school there for college, and then like got her master's or whatever, her bachelor's. They hired some new president for her division from outside source. I forget where she was from. It wasn't even a school, it was something else. And they never really liked each other for like a year. And she was like, oh, she's going to fire me. And I was like, you've been there for like years. Who the hell cares? Yeah. Your records are exemplary. They, like 2 months ago, they wrote in a report that she's not motivating her team enough or something. In a report.
Bullshit. Yeah, managers.
Oh, totally the weirdest thing ever. Like, you know what I mean? 4 weeks later on a Friday, this is now 5 weeks ago, they called her in and fired her and told her to leave on the spot.
They didn't allow her to gather her things or anything. That's so. They'll send them to her
She had to
eventually.
no. She had to come back and get them a different day when no one was around. And I was like,
That's
actually,
cold.
yeah, Quinn and Mercy University. Oh, sorry, I don't want to mention their
Okay.
name. It's a small Catholic university. We won't mention their name. Anyway, it's wild to me that you can work someone for 25 years. She knew all the maintenance people. She knew everyone everywhere. And I don't even know if she was great at her job, but she always got great reports. She always showed up on time. Like she cared about her job.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me that a job, especially a Catholic university, Gwynn and Mercy or whatever, can turn around and terminate you based on,
Nothing.
yeah, they hired someone who was an outsider a year and a half ago, and then they weren't doing well, and boom.
So
It's just
there's.
weird because
Yeah.
it's like you treat the job like family, but it will never treat you like family. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I definitely came home and gave my wife a hug and said like, "Thank you for
Did
being
you?
for me." Yeah, being there for me. Yeah, it makes you realize like the important things because like the job there was to do a job and it was serious that you needed to get your project done. There was pressure on yourself and very little outside pressure unless I guess you were failing, which I never was. And
Hmm.
to give me the 2 weeks, I would have, you know, probably went out in the same way I'd always been. Like the 10 months prior, it would have been the same extension of that 10 months. So it's weird to think that someone is just going to melt down or something and be fearful of them. It doesn't make
There
any sense.
probably are instances, but they're super rare, I would imagine. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And you would
You gotta
think
be
that,
like a nutcase to do some of the stuff. I'm gonna sabotage the company. And like who?
no.
You just got a new job offer. Who cares about this company?
Yeah.
Like you're not leaving for a lower paying job that's like less opportune. Like, hey, sorry, I got a job offer for 80% less. Um, I might have to steal all your records. Like, then why would you accept the job? Like, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Obviously, you're accepting a job with more, so you're like, I don't need you.
Yeah.
Like,
So I guess that's why I offended him. I must have offended him. And two, there's
because scorned lover, scorned lover.
yeah, scorn lover. What like doing I don't know. I feel like if you were in the position where you're living paycheck to paycheck, it would have been like crushing to just be like let go immediately. Like if you needed that paycheck, that would have been brutal. And then also, if I had a job that the job offer that like I kind of was just using as a means of getting more salary,
Yeah,
like
what if
to
it didn't fruit
yeah,
come to fruition or whatever? Was like kind of like, ooh, we filled the position
yeah.
yesterday.
Or if it was for like 5% more. Like if you're just going for like the extra 5%, which I believe I've done in the past,
I
like
believe
to
you have.
have someone let you go because you had an offer from somebody else, it makes you question like what kind of like what business are you building?
People.
You're really building the one that you can control people in. Like you want ultimate control from what I can tell.
Here's a question: have you ever been in a position to hire and fire people? Kind of
I've
what we're
had
talking
people
about.
work under me and I
Right,
guess I
but have
could
you
have
ever
had
hired
them
them
removed from my
or
team.
fired them?
Um not fire them from the company, no.
That's weird. I've never had that power, and I don't want it. I wouldn't want it.
I wouldn't want to fire somebody.
No, I wouldn't either.
I
What
think
if firing people was your job?
the Bobs from like Office Space.
Yeah, a little
Bob,
bit. What would you say
you
you
do
do here?
here.
That's so good.
Oh
I
man.
deal with the damn people. I'm a people person. I never got that joke. The first
Did
time I saw that movie, I must have been
oh
14 or something. So
people
maybe, how
person.
old were we? 18?
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, I give the plans from the engineers to the customers
I need to
so
watch
they
that.
don't have to talk to people. I deal with the damn people. I'm a people person. He's screaming. And they're like, hmm. So why can't the engineers hand it right to the customer? It's good. Good stuff.
Oh shit.
Actually, Office Space kind of is
It's
everything we're
perfect.
talking about. It's a
It
comedy
is.
about everything we're doing right now,
It's a
right?
really good movie. I wanted somebody to say like, "Watch your cornhole, bud." I said, "I want that."
Like, here's another genius thing from Office Space that I didn't really realize they do. So the whole thing's a joke at corporate America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how it's ridiculous and overstated and stupid. They even talk about it at tchotchkes, right?
Yeah. You didn't get a few pieces of flair?
Are you wearing your flair? How many pieces do I have to wear, Gary? Kevin has 32. And it's like, ha ha, the dude over there doing with the 32. And she's like, so do I need 32 pieces of flair? And he's like, oh, well, you don't need a certain number. You just need to have more flair. And she's like, that's how many you want me to have, you know?
Oh,
and I love that because it's like the lowest end job, like, you know, blue collar, and then white collar. It's all jobs are stupid. Is that what we're gonna say at the end of this episode?
I don't know, because I have a lot of hope for my new job.
It's gonna be stupid. You're just gonna get paid more.
That's true.
I mean, do you really think it's gonna be your family or something? The more you're paying, they're paying you, the less their family, I guess.
The more stress that you need to endure. That's how I picture it.
Maybe not necessarily, because they could be misevaluating things or whatever. But the more they can put stress on you, not they will, but they can.
The more they can attempt to. Yes.
Yes, I agree.
It's a weird thing. I don't know. Like, I don't understand. So, my first job, I stayed there 10 years, and I was happy being there. And then I had this offer for this previous job that just let me go immediately. It seems very strange that, like I guess happiness is not monetary, and there's a limit. There's like the 75 grand
Sure.
limit. Like, once you make that amount, like, making more doesn't matter. I don't know that it matters how much you make after that point, because I definitely, like, can cover, like, all of my family's expenses and then choose to retire relatively soon.
Earlier. Or later. Right. I understand that.
And there's a point where the money is like just like a game. Like, getting a higher offer is just a game of, like, saying the right things and offering the right skills. And
True.
it becomes almost like fake money at that point. Because, like, a 20% increase on the salary that I do have now just seems ridiculous to me. Like, that amount of money doesn't even make sense.
Well, this is another weird thing. You mentioned it, retire early, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
Your money game is becoming a time game, but not for you now, for you later.
5 years from now, 10 years from now.
We talked about this in the one video game episode where you save up all your money for potions at the very end of the game,
Yeah.
and now you can buy all the
I can do
potions,
anything I want,
or
goddammit.
or you
Fuck
save
you,
up all
money.
your money all summer and you buy both systems and you play
Yeah.
them both. You know what I mean? So you definitely have a pattern, whatever have you.
Yeah, it's called building up your fuck you money, so that you can do whatever the fuck you want, and it doesn't matter. So what's fuck you money to you, Nick?
I'm in too much debt. I probably couldn't get FU money for a while.
What would it be, though? Like, if your current job, you had X amount of dollars, where would you be like, fuck you guys, I'm out? What if you were previous Nick? The one that left 3 weeks ago.
Me and him in a week.
Yeah.
I want to record this. So let's see. I think I'll do it in 5 weeks.
You think you're really
from
gonna
today.
do it in 5 weeks? You don't know what the triggers are gonna be.
Because I mean, this is like a long game. If I stayed at this company for 3 years, I can make 6 figures very easily. Okay, that's a lot of money for someone like me. I don't know that I will last 3 years doing the dumbest fucking shit in the world. Following up with customers and doing all their quotes and releasing orders and doing chat and all that shit. Oh, I do chat. You go to a website and you chat with people?
I was gonna
I'm
responsible
responsible
chat with you.
for that.
I was gonna type in, you're connected with Nick today. Fuck you, Nick. Just start.
Hey, wait. If you do, well, once in a while, manager looks in and sees who we're chatting with. But
yeah.
Once in a while.
He probably scans
always.
Everything. They're probably watching everything you do.
Here. So if you ever do chat on a website, that person hates you. Okay, number 1. Number 2, if you're rude to them or you want an answer real quick or you're like impatient, do you know the coolest thing I find to do? I misspell your fucking name. Oh, it's not a typo. Trust me. hey, Kevin, and I spelled the N and the I backwards. I'm like, we're looking into that. Hold on. And then I spell it wrong a second time. Oh, it's so good when you're like Kvein and you're like, hey, Kevin, we're not currently funding your product. Hold on.
It has the
Ah,
little
dude.
dots, the 3 little dots.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure what you see on your end,
Huh.
but probably. Either way, I spell their name wrong every other time, like it's a typo, and I told all the other chat people to start doing it, so it's our new thing. Anyway, anyway, if I don't get fired, whatever. FU money though.
Like, how long
If you
would
offer
you?
same money now for a different job, so I thought of this. I gotta. This is like personal. Can we get into personal stuff? I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
I had too much to drink, and I was texting my dad, who was my old boss, and helped. He helped actually in giving birth to me. He was 50%. And my mom pushed and pushed and pushed. But I was texting him. He asked me how my job was because I was his number one worker. I was like his protege. I was like his going to take over the business for him. And I was like, I really hate it. Still doing my best, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, hang in there unless you don't want to. I never know what my dad really wants because I think part of him is like, I want you to come back with me, but I want you to do your own thing.
Yeah.
So it's a weird dynamic we have where he's like, listen, I understand. You got to do your own thing. But if you want, come back. But if you don't want, don't come back.
If you're sure. You know, if you're not sure.
Are you sure? Do your own thing. And then he's like, but if you want to come back, you can come back and work with me. We're the best. And then he's like, but don't come back and work for me just because you're working for me. Do your thing. But if you want to come back. And it's a weird thing because I love my dad.
Very sweet.
But
very sweet.
Yes. So I was inebriated and I was texting with him. I was like, hate my effing job, blah, 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 blah. Me and you should open up a sandwich shop, I said at one point, because you make great sandwiches. He was like, listen, just stick it out, do your thing. And at the end of it, he said, oh, garbage. I forget where I was going.
You forgot where you're going, talking about your dad.
I really
you
did.
A job
well,
to come
because
back.
I was smiling thinking about it.
You're too happy. You're not bitter enough when you're thinking about your dad saying, hey, anything works. Everything's fine.
No. Oh, he literally, he sends in the text. He's like, and then whenever you want, go to night classes and become a teacher.
Wow. You just choose your fate right there.
And I was like, what? And I was like, why did you say teacher? Because like I was like, literally, he picked it out of the blue. It just came out of the blue. I was like, you want to be a teacher? And he's like, you go with kids. Your mom thinks you could be a teacher. It's something that would be fulfilling. And I was like, what the fuck? And I stopped. And I honestly think I need to do something that fulfills me. I don't think I can do a job.
How much do you think our teachers made in high school? Because you could probably do the high school job.
I was just thinking today. I was like, maybe I should Google or start doing night classes and see what you need to become a teacher. And I was like, even if I didn't make more than I make now, like if I made the exact same and had a chance to make it maybe a little more, like it might be worth it.
Could make like 80, 90.
Could you? I don't know. It's more than I make now. So A, it would be an increase in salary. B, summer's off, sort of. And this sounds stupid, but doing a job where I sell wire and cable to companies who need wire and cable at a certain price.
Your soul, and you slowly die.
No. I mean, selling wire and cable doesn't eat your soul, but doing it full time and making it your life and competing with numbers
could never do. Yeah.
It's weird because it doesn't matter.
It starts to change your mind eventually, and I think people who do it too long, it's not good.
Yeah, I'm worried about that, and so
it's the same.
I think my dad. Yeah, I 100% would agree. So my dad was almost saying like, why don't you do something meaningful or something where you affect lives, and people might scoff at that or something, but maybe that's what I should do. Like, I feel like it would be worth the money that you were just mentioning, how FU money. Maybe not ever making six figures would be cool if I had a job where I loved it and I was changing lives and helping people.
It's an FU job.
It sounds hokey or like, I don't know, whatever. Like, oh, I want a job where I change people's lives. Yeah, but there's something to be said where that's it's worth a value. I don't know that it's worth a. I couldn't put a number on it. I don't fucking know.
So I guess there's two things there. There's my FU money, and then my perspective change. So like, I'll talk about my perspective change. Like I worked a job for 10 years, and then I realized like I could work this job for another 20 years and retire. Like I could have done that. It was fully possible. And I was like, life is there to be experienced. So that's why I switched jobs. And that's precisely why I'm going to switch jobs again, is that I know what I bet I spent 10 months at this job and I understand it 100, almost maybe 100%, maybe 90, 98%. I'll subtract a couple. But
let's give you 90. Let's give you 90.
I'll give me 90. So I know 90% of it, and like the other 10% is probably not gonna. It's not negative. It's just I already know what it's about. This other new job, like I don't know what it's about. Maybe it has something different to offer. Maybe I haven't experienced it yet. Maybe I don't know that it's...
How different is the new job? Is it mostly software stuff, or?
It's supposedly software stuff, but I might become a manager, and it's like small group, which might grow.
Oh, they might want you to fire people, dude.
Well, I might have to learn how to fire people. Hopefully, give them 2 weeks. I hope that it actually turns into something that like I can actually build and grow, because the key difference is, which I did not mention, was that the current job, or the previous job that I recently got let go from, they always wanted you to make something for a customer. So like you were making their product for them.
100%. A project for someone. Yeah. You had their stipulations, you had their rules, you had their deadlines, their targets, their etc.
Mm-hmm. So this new job is making a product for that company. So it actually allows you to do it better so that it helps you later on. So if you can make it so good that it makes your job easier later on, that's the better choice to make. So there's
long run.
Yeah. So there's like so many short-term projects that go the shitty route because like it's just the shortest path. The shortest path is good for people who don't want to spend money, but the long path might be better in the long term because it's going to make it easier on you later on. And that's what I'm getting into, I think. I hope I can build something that's easier to maintain.
Keep in mind you've never worked there one day.
Yes, and I might hate it.
It's so weird. Who the fuck knows? You never know until you try. Right?
It's an experience. Life is meant to be lived, right?
I don't know that it is. Can you imagine if someone was like, life? Oh my God, no. You're supposed to just watch life. You can't live it. Oh my God.
I feel like it's a company like, you remain in your box and you stay in your box. And if you try to get out and rattle the cage, rattle the cage and get my shocker.
I'm probably 50 years from don't experience life. Just watch it on TV.
Yeah, stay there.
Like, good point. The future Netflix.
Fuck you, money. For me, if I had lost my job, like if they had fired me for whatever reason, which
they shouldn't have, because that's okay.
I think I could have probably survived for a long period of time, like maybe a year or even 2, on my wife working and the money that I had saved up. And this is like a family of 4, so I have enough money saved up that I could make moves in a year's time, and it probably might set me back for when I retire, but I could still float it.
Not to bring the podcast down, but I think if I got fired tomorrow and it didn't have a fallback job, I think I'd be out of money in 3 weeks.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
It is. So I have to watch my jobs a little more carefully. Okay.
Yeah. Does that stress you out more though?
Yes and no. I've actually gotten into a mindset of like, fuck it. Like you can die at any minute. Like, do you realize when you drive down the road, like some a-hole can pick up their phone, start texting, drive into the wrong lane of traffic, and kill you on your way home.
You could be
kill you. Not hurt you or mess up your car. They can actually kill you, and you'll be dead on a Wednesday in like September, where you had Eagles tickets for like 3 days from now, and you're like, I wasn't supposed to die 3 days before the Eagles game.
Hanging on anybody's wall? You don't even know.
Probably not in a business.
No.
But I've gotten to that mindset about my financial situation. So I am floating just above water. I have great new Bluetooth headphones. I do.
I'll do an aside on that one. So your Bluetooth
Do you?
headphones are probably because you're working in an office and you're trying to ignore other people that are talking, and with it, it's so easy. So let's
Oh
plug
my
this
god.
product because it has a nice symbol. I like that symbol. It's very leafy.
That's Jaybird. They make all
Jaybird.
their products have the symbol. Jaybird. Jaybird Vistas. Ooh, folks.
You spent
Check
too much
that
money
out.
on that.
I did, but guess what they do? Everything.
Nothing.
I can use one ear. I can use no ears. They fit comfortably. They actually don't hurt. They fit like snugly. I can run with them. I can jog with them. I can do whatever. They actually can't fall out. It's like almost impossible to get them out of your ear, like without pulling them out. Their sound quality is actually ridiculous. Like I'm not joking. They're not quite as good as like a wired pair of headphones that like fit over your ear and like look like a nerd has them. Like on the public transportation, some weird guy has them, and you're like, I better not mess with that guy. He's way too into his music. But it's damn close. Check this out. Look how freaking it fits in my hand. This charges them.
It's nice.
So they last for like 5 or 6 hours, and then I put them back in the case. It'll charge them for another like 5 or 6 hours, and you can do it 2 or 3 times.
Total?
No, each time. I'm telling you. And then you just plug it back in to your charger. And
I do like that the case has a charger on the exterior of it, so you just plug it right in.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Because I haven't bought headphones in like
do they have
3
the
years.
magnetic snap? Like mine would have like this little thing.
Yeah.
It's like it feels good when it leaves
Oh, yeah.
your finger.
Yeah,
it's like,
dude.
yeah.
The other thing is like they're true wireless. So when I'm calling people and crap, I put one ear in and then I leave the other ear in the goddamn case. And I just listen to music on one ear. Nice. And then the other one's still fully charged, so I can switch ears like halfway through the day. And it's like, oh. But I never run out of battery because they're all like always at 60%. This is the coolest part about these guys. They're like IPX7 waterproof. So you know what I do?
Swim with them? Tell me you swim.
You could, but Bluetooth wouldn't travel under the water.
Oh, shame.
So your headphones would work, but you wouldn't get any signal. So you know what I do with them? I friggin' get drunk on the weekends and listen to music while I shower. Oh, this sounds wild and like people have been doing it for years.
I would love that.
I've never done it before. I do it like all the time. Like people are like, Nick, I think you have a drinking problem. I'm like, I have to drink and listen to my Jaybird Vistas. Like, and literally, I put both ears in. I get in the shower, dude. I'm soaping up and I'm listening to Opeth. I'm listening to like Tool. I'm listening to whatever the hell I want. Oh my God, it's so fun.
Freedom.
I've never showered with music on before. It's like real loud music. And I know that sounds stupid and like you could have a speaker in the bathroom, but never like this. It's kind of cool. I don't know. And they're sweat-proof, waterproof, you can rain-proof, whatever. So it's cool.
We need to do a podcast on podcasts. So there's a freedom in having your own like audio source. That's there's an office. I was in a room of like 20 people. And there's so much going on that like you have to put your earphones in or
drown them out.
And I had my own little nook and stuff, and it felt good to have. I had multiple ones, so like when one would die, I'd just keep swapping them out. And it's your
when one would die, I said a woman died, and I just
woman dies
covered her up. I was like, I don't want to hear about her.
I don't want to hear
Someone's
her screams
in the background having a heart attack.
Listen to your open
and you're like,
Tool, and you're just like American Psycho.
I'm busy.
Yeah. No, but that's your own slice of freedom.
What did you put in your ears? Bluetooth?
Yeah,
wired?
Bluetooth. I forget the brand. It's like Anbez, ANBES. I don't know how you say
ABS.
ANBES. Anbez.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah, it was like $35.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings me to how much were yours, Nick? Because you always like to spend more than I expect.
160, 170 range.
Oh my God.
Listen though, we'll break it down to. Everyone says that, but this is something I've used every day since I bought it.
You do get your value out of it. You're going to use.
I get my value. I mean, these are the things I spend on: my phone, my audio equipment, my computer. I mean, I don't spend it on my clothes. I don't spend it on food. Anything else really. So
getting through those hours at work.
Before I quit.
Hours.
Before I quit. So here, what's your dream job? We'll finish up the episode.
Well, I definitely want to own my own business. I'd like to make a business that competes with the business that just fired me and put it right across the street. And then tell people I will undercut whatever contract they get. It's a good business.
Is that wait, did they make you sign a non-compete disclosure thing?
For a year.
Damn, they got you. Ooh, they got you. Well, it's been 10 months.
It's been less than a day. 0 days since fired.
You signed another one?
Yeah, it's a year after you've been released from the job.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a year from signature. That's weird.
I bought lottery tickets today, and I was like, I don't usually spend $20, but this feels like a good day. And then, like, if I won like $100 million, like, I would have a business that would just be like, I want you to waste as much money as possible fucking these people over.
Screw this business.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Your job is to fuck over this guy. And then it'd be like, it'd be right in their face, and they'd know it. I'd love it.
I always think of the screw over business. Mm-hmm. Like, you could lose money, just you have to ruin their business.
Yeah.
Is it legal?
100%. Isn't that capitalism?
Is it? Hold on. So a millionaire could screw anyone over. Could he?
Yeah. I mean, if you're like Elon or Bezos or something.
Yeah, any of the boys. They could ruin anyone, right?
Oh, yeah. Pretty much. I think
Set up right across the street. Advertise it will sell for 5% less. And do it. What if it's cutting into our profits, boss? I don't care. We're going to grind them into the ground. And you're like, okay, that's weird. That's weird. I guess you could.
Yeah. I think my own business would just be like
what would you do?
Business. I don't know like what it would actually be.
Fix computers?
It'd be creating something.
No, it would be fixing computers or some bullshit.
No, I wouldn't do like a...
You sure? Spybot? You just run Spybot on people's computers like that one dude was talking about?
Blackmail them later. That's the whole business model.
Oh, good Lord. You don't need to make money. You're just doing something for fun.
Oh.
What would you do? Let's say you had enough money to never work another day in your life, but you wanted to work because you're bored. What would you do?
That's such a weird question. Because, like, why would you work if you didn't care? Like, I think I would just, like, get my health in order, really. I'd, like, go for a run and, like, see what... Like, I'd probably create video games.
You know you can go for a run at any point in any day. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, it costs time. I don't know that I have
it does cost time. To do it. That's the only thing that costs time.
Yeah, but I think I would create video games. Because video games don't necessarily mean profit. It might be a waste of money, but if you could create a sweet video game...
That'd be cool.
Make me happy. Yeah.
Would it bother you that you're like the bottom rung video game creator and it's like going to be really shitty and not like a high res Call of Duty?
A ladder.
I knew it. You'd have some people working on the project that were A grade people. Okay. What kind of game are you making? I'm just curious.
My ideas for games, I have, I guess, 3 of them. So, no, I do. I have this.
We're out of time, folks. Thanks for joining us on the Panderers.
One, I want a game that, like, touchscreen. It's almost like pipes, you know, like when water's flowing, you have to redirect pipes. You have to click the screen in synchrony and then have them all kind of like go through this path and then land at the finish at the same time. So it has like touch.
It sounds like timing. Pipes.
It's very similar to pipes.
Okay, that's fine. Sounds cool.
And then I'll skip to the last one where I want to make a game that's like you're launched into space and you have to like gather up resources and then like explore space. It's just like a mobile game where you're constantly adding to your junk pile, essentially, which is your spacecraft. And then when you encounter other people are trying to steal your junk by ramming into you and breaking off pieces of your spaceship.
Interesting.
That's a good idea. I know it is.
It's interesting.
The whole thing is like trying to figure out how to crash into other
people.
Manage
your junk.
Yeah.
Manage your junk.
Look at my junk, people.
That's
the whole goal of life, isn't it?
Manage your junk.
Anything to add?
No, I just was trying to think of my dream job. I think I want to work with kids, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Teach.
I know.
They need to be like teenagers, right?
Yeah, I'm not working with some snot-nosed 5-year-old who can't figure out science. It's weird. I think I want to be a science teacher. I thought I'd be in like, hey, listen, pyroclastic flow. Am I right, kids? Hey, listen, I don't want to be here. You can call me Mr. Nick. You can call me Mr. C. You can call me Mr. Go. Whatever you want to call me. We're going to learn about volcanoes today. I don't care. It's going to be on the test on Wednesday. Everyone, I'm giving you answers right now. Listen up. I don't care if you're hungover. I don't care if you had a rough night texting with so-and-so. Pay attention, okay? We're doing pyroclastic flow. We're doing volcanoes. This is going to be pretty easy. Write it all down. Thank you. Mr. Nick, is this going to be on the test? Of course it is. I just said it was on the test. I don't know. I'm imagining me like I'm from New York, though, or Long Island. I don't know.
Long Island.
Weird. It's weird. Either way, I think that would be cool. I don't know.
The reality of the job would probably set in, and you'd be like, "This is not what I thought it would be."
Kind of. It's any job. You're right, but selling wire and cable will never be important to me. I don't fucking know. Yep. Are there jobs that are important to people? I don't fucking know.
I definitely see some people that work too hard at their job, so maybe we can cover that.
No. But I'm talking like something where someone feels so strongly they're like, I can't believe I get paid. I do this to help so and so, like the suicide prevention hotline. I don't.
What about like flight controllers or like the people who like work at 911 centers, call centers?
Yeah, someone we went to high school with. We'll call him Devin Currant. That's where he worked for like a year and a half.
And he liked it. I don't know. I don't even know what it would actually be like.
He didn't like it. I think he ended up hating it and leaving. But I mean, how important of a job is that? It's like answering a 911 call and being like, hey, we're trying to send help. Can you tell me your name? And you're like, I think I just heard a murder. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, you would think that people would have, like, it'd be polar. It'd be you'd get the most satisfaction out of helping people, and then not being able to help people at all.
Mess you up the most.
Yeah.
Because you probably hear prank calls. You probably hear people actually getting murdered on the phone. I didn't even think of that one. You probably hear, oh, Jesus Christ.
You just ruined your own mood.
I know. I got down.
It is some of the
things. That's the reality of the situation.
That's like a deer getting caught in like a bear's claws, like having the deer like yelp. Like it's like one of the most excruciating things to listen to because you know there's no chance of helping that deer. Like that deer is done for, but you still have to listen to it. Like you're forced to listen to it. That's your job.
Yeah,
it's the worst thing I could think of. Actually, no, and actually have a scenario attached to it.
Shit. Wild shit. No matter what you have, a job's a job. I mean, it's going to be something. Here's to end it. I mean, you spend so much time at a job.
Yeah.
It's too much time.
You better be feeling like you're doing something. Making a difference in some way that makes it positive.
It's too much time. What is it, 40 hours a week is an average? And everyone always averages a little more. I'm like 41 and a half, 42 hours. It's like...
Yeah, that came up. He was like, I look back and you only worked very sparing overtime. And I was like, well, I was doing other stuff.
Overtime?
Yeah.
Dude, tell him to suck your nuts.
I don't know. It's one of those metrics. I feel like they look at their metrics and say, you're not meeting the curve.
Be like, you're not meeting the curb.
I'm going to kick you to the curb.
That's right.
Right.
All right. Folks, if you have any job experiences that jump out at you or things that really made you feel like, that's a good job, or this is the worst job I ever had. I worked at Wawa on 363. You're like, just send it in. Let us know. Honestly.
I'd actually listen to that. I'd read every single one. I would.
I read every quote too.
I do.
I don't.
It's okay.
But seriously, check out our socials, donate to the Patreon, help us out. We're trying to pay bills. Donate to just Unpanner Nick.
Okay, Nick gets all the proceeds until he gets out of debt. I would do that.
That's totally fine. I don't think we're getting
yeah,
there.
no. Well, yeah, it's okay.
But seriously, we love everyone listening. We love every input. I mean, if you have something to say, we'd love to reach out and react to it. So that's cool. Also, if you have a soul-sucking job, don't respond to us. We don't want to hear about it.
We don't care about robots.
No, I'm just kidding. Let us know. Let us know what's going on. Let us know how your lives are. And we talked about everything. Horrible bosses, horrible people that fire people. Dan's new job, he has to fire people. That's crazy. He's the new asshole. He quit a job from an asshole to become an asshole. That's crazy.
It's called promotion, bud.
What do you make? Exactly. Tell us everything. Tell us your socials. Tell us how much you make. Tell us where you live.
How much you're gonna give us? How much you make? How much you're gonna give us?
But seriously, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it's weird. I get a little emotional. Do not.
Your dad's a sweetheart.
My dad's a sweetheart. I was thinking of that too.
No, you're gonna cry.
Thanks for tuning in, folks.
You better cry.
I'm gonna cry right now.
Good night, folks.
We like you, folks. We like you a lot. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.
A lot.